Shalom to my Akim and my Akwat out there. Um, I had to do this video real quick because there's a female Israelite sister that posted that bastards or something to that effect, or how she put it, bastards, children of strange women that were born to Israelite men. So the Israelite men who got with strange women had kids by them, that these kids are excluded from being under Israel, being up under the mercy and the salvation of the Most High. So let's go to the scriptures and find out what the Most High, his dealings was with that. Let's go to the scriptures and find out. So we're gonna start with Genesis 38. Okay, and we're gonna start at verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hirah. Okay, and Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her, and she conceived and bore a son. He called his name And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chizib when she bare him. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law. Now, Tamar was supposed to have been promised to one of Judah's sons, but two of his sons passed away, that he had conceived with this Canaanite woman, Shua. Okay, he had one son left that was from this Canaanite woman. So how it turns out, the son didn't get to be with Tamar as the other two brothers that passed away was supposed to have been with her, would have been with Tamar. Tamar also was a Canaanite woman. Okay, so how it turns out, we're going to go to this verse right here. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. So Judah's wife died. The Canaanite woman died. Now remember, he met these women in the land of Canaan. These are Canaanite women. His wife that passed away, and Tamar. And in process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnah. He and his friend Hirah, the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Tamath to shear his sheep. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot. Okay, now Tamar had tricked Judah into laying with her. He didn't know he was laying with her because she was disguised. Okay, now this was all done predestined by the Most High, because don't nothing happen unless the Most High got his hands on it, was directing what's going on. So she disguised herself and she tricked Judah into laying with her. Judah's sons didn't lay with her. Okay, so the Most High had it set up where Judah would lay with her personally. Okay, when Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, What shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her and came in unto her, and she conceived. And she conceived by him. And we're going to skip down some verses. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass when she travailed that one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, How hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Pharez. And afterward came out his brother, that he had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. So Judah had sex with his daughter-in-law. Okay, Judah's sons had passed away, and his other son Shua didn't conceive with her because Tamar tricked him. Okay, so Judah wound up having sex with her and had 2 children by her. Okay, and that was Pharez and Zerah. Okay, now we're getting down to the lineage of the children of Judah, okay, which was through a Canaanite woman, right, a strange woman, okay. So we got that understood, that Judah got with a Canaanite woman, okay, had 3 sons. She passed away, that Canaanite woman. The 3 sons by the Canaanite woman. 2 of them passed. One of them was still living, but he didn't have relations with Tamar, the other Canaanite woman that replaced his wife. Okay, so he got with Tamar and had Pharez and Zerah. And this is where the lineage of Judah continues to trickle on down. So now we're going to go to Matthew chapter 1. Okay, now we at Matthew chapter 1. And it says, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, Yahushua, the book of the generation of Yahushua, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. And Judas begot Pharez, and Zerah of Tamar. And Pharez begot Ishram, and Ishram begot Aram. And Solomon begot Boaz of Rachab, and Boaz begot Obed of Ruth. And Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David the king, and David the king begot Solomon of her that had the wife of Urias. And Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua, who was called Christ. Okay? So in the book of Matthew, we got the lineage showing as in the book of Genesis, when it speaks about Judah, okay, getting with Tamar and having Pharez, okay, and through Pharez came Jesse. Through Pharez came Boaz, okay, and through Boaz he got with Ruth, and we're going to get to that. And Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot King David. Okay, so we got the lineage showing where Judah got with a Canaanite woman, had some children, and those children were the lineage of Judah all the way down to Yahushua. Okay, so now we're going to go to the book of Ruth. Okay, now we're at the book of Ruth. We're going to start at chapter 4. Start at verse 3. And this is about a Moabitess getting with a descendant of hers who was from the tribe of Israel. Okay, which was her brother. Okay, so Naomi was setting Ruth up with a kinsman of Israel, and Ruth was a Moabitess. So we're going to start off like, and he said unto the kinsman Naomi that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's land. Okay, now Elimelech was supposed to have got with Naomi's daughter-in-law, Ruth, but he never did. So the custom back in those days was that the brother was who is whoever a close kin will have to keep the bloodline going. Okay, so he wound up passing away. Elimelech wound up passing away. So the next closer kin to her was Boaz. Okay, and we're going to start over again. And he said unto the kinsman Naomi that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land which was our brother Elimelech's. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must buy it also of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. So the bloodline had to continue through Ruth the Moabitess, because she was supposed to have got with Naomi's son that passed away. Now we're going to go to verse 10. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead. Okay. Upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place ye are witnesses this day. And all the people that were in the gate and the elders said, we are witnesses. The Lord make the woman that is come into thine house like Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel. And do thou worthily in Ephrath, and be famous in Bethlehem. And let thy house be like the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. So it was going to be the same way like with Judah and Pharez, Judah and Tamar. It was going to be the same way with Boaz and Ruth. It was going to be the same way. So Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception, and she bare a son. And the women said unto Naomi, blessed be the Lord, which hath not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And Naomi took the child, and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse unto it. And the women, her neighbors, gave it a name, saying, there is a son born to Naomi, and they call his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Okay, so we read that in the book of Matthew. Okay, so Boaz took Ruth to be his wife. Okay, so the lineage of Judah would continue through down the line through Boaz, through a Moabite woman. Okay, and from that union, from Judah's descendant Boaz, came forth the descendants all the way down to King David, all the way down to Yahushua. Okay, so Judah's children, Pharez and Zorah, was of a Canaanite woman. Boaz was fourth generation of Pharez through Judah, from a Canaanite woman and a Moabite woman. Okay, so Yahushua's lineage came through Tamar, a Canaanite, and Naomi a Moabite. Okay, so the Gentiles Paul went after were the sons and daughters of Israelite men who was with Gentile women. Okay, those were the Gentiles that Paul was going after. Okay, when it says first to the Jew and then to the Gentile, okay, the Jew is short for Judah, okay, and the Gentiles were those children that were born through the men of Israel by strange women. Okay, this is what the grafting back in and the adoption is. Okay, pertaining to those Gentiles that were living up under the customs of the people that they was raised up under through their mother's lineage of whatever was pertaining to that particular woman and her father's line. Okay, so the seed of the father, which was of the nation of Israel, those were the ones, those particular Gentiles that was being brought in, because remember the scriptures say that you are of the house of your father, so whatever your father is, that's what you are. Okay, so even with Yahushua and Judah, okay, came through uh, the tribe of Judah. His children came through a Canaanite woman, Tamar, and then came through another Moabite woman, all the way down till we get to the birth of Yahushua. Okay, so for a person to say that the strange women and the children, and you say the Most High is not dealing with that, the Most High orchestrated Judah and Tamar, the Canaanite woman. The Most High orchestrated Boaz and Ruth, the Moabite woman. Okay, and through Boaz and Ruth, 4 generations through Boaz and Ruth, the descendants from them gave birth to King David, all the way to Yahushua. So Yahushua wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Moabite woman, okay, and the Canaanite woman, okay. Yahushua wouldn't be here if it wasn't, and we probably wouldn't be here, okay, because we are fellow Jews with Yahushua, okay. So we wouldn't be here, and Yahushua wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Moabite woman, Ruth, and the Canaanite woman, Tamar. Okay, those were strange women, and we here, and Yahushua the Savior is here. Okay, so before y'all get to throwing out the strange women and the kids and Xing them and out and all that, what you gonna X out Yahushua now? You gonna X out yourself now? Okay, because we came from that that lineage of Moabites and the Canaanite woman. Okay, through Judah and through Boaz. Okay, so with that, if you don't know about the story of Ruth and Naomi, you need to read it. You need to go to the book of Genesis, and you need to read Genesis chapter 38. Okay? And you need to read Ruth chapter 4 and Matthew chapter 1. Okay, to find out about what was going on with Israel, with the tribe, with Judah, and with the strange woman, and with Boaz and the strange woman, a Canaanite and a Moabite, that brought forth the Mashiach Yahushai. Okay. Now, like I said, the Gentiles that Paul went after were the children of the Israelite men and the strange women. Those were the Gentiles. Okay. But because of the Most High having mercy on who you want to have mercy on, and whatever the Most High want to do concerning who he chooses to be the 144,000, the 1/3, okay, and the Gentiles that Paul went after, understand that these were children of Israelites, Israelite men, okay. So with that, I hope there's a little understanding that was brought forth about the Israelite men and the strange women. And if you're going to X out the children of the strange women and of the Israelite men, then look at your history. Okay? You're going to X yourself out. Okay? Because, like I said, Judah got with Tamar, okay, which was a Canaanite woman, and before that, he got with his first wife, who had passed away, and had 3 sons by her. Okay, he got with 2 Canaanite women. All right, and then through that lineage, we go all the way down to Boaz and Naomi and Ruth. And Boaz got with Ruth, who was a Moabitess, and we got the tribe of Judah, all the way down to King David, all the way down to Yahushua. Okay, so when you start throwing darts, you really need to do, further research before you start, convincing others that this is what it is, and you really don't have scriptures backing it up, or you may have scriptures, you don't fully understand those scriptures. This is why the Most High said a woman is not supposed to teach. Okay, that's why the Most High put a man over Israel. Okay, so because a lot of you Israelite women out there, y'all adding confusion, and y'all bringing negativity, into the understanding. And y'all need to stop doing that and just fall back and let the men of Judah do their job and bring out a proper understanding. Okay, so you can't X out the children of these strange women when the Most High used strange women to bring forth the tribe of Judah, and that brought forth Yahushua. Alright? Now, if the Most High didn't want that to happen, that would have never happened. Judah would have got with the Israelite woman, and Boaz would have got with the Israelite woman. Okay, but it didn't happen that way. And we got the Savior through those unions. Shalom. I'm out.